The following program is brought to you by the Midas Gold Group.
This is the Gold Standard from Midas Gold Group with Ken Russo. Hello, I'm Dave Dino. Welcome to the Gold Standard, your source for secure investment opinion and information on the advantages of purchasing and owning precious metals. Whether you're a novice investor or an experienced collector, this is the program that gives you a realistic weekly perspective on the state of the economy, reliable information about using precious metals such as gold, silver, and platinum to safeguard your wealth, and remarkable details about specific precious metal coins and bullion. Ken Russo is a senior vice president at Midas Gold Group. His peers characterize him as a straight shooter who will work harder for you than anyone else. Ken, welcome.
Nice to talk to you, Dave.
Ken, today our topic is, again, everything you wanted to ask your gold dealer. Part 2, you might say. This was so interesting in our last time together, and we had so many questions that I wanted to get back into even more of those so folks who are listening can get a very, very good idea of the value of precious metals for safeguarding their family's wealth. And we take a look at the economy, at the shakiness of the economy, at the way the stock market reacts so very quickly and dramatically to events worldwide, let alone some of the financial events that are taking place here at home in America. We see that, and then we look at the stability and the value of gold, and that brings up a lot of questions about, okay, where are we going to put our wealth to make sure that it is protected, that it is safeguarded, that it is not subject to a market crash or a big devaluation of the dollar or the effects of inflation upon our buying power. Gold is very different than paper money or paper assets. So we're going to major today on the whole issue of why buy gold, what is its advantage to us? And we have a lot of questions that I want to get to. Many financial experts are expressing concern. I keep seeing this, serious concern about the stability of our economy. Could there be a crash coming?
I believe so. I think that there's definitely a crash coming, and why wouldn't there be? We're seeing the same sort of things that we saw back in the 2004, 2005, 2006 area, where there was a lot of real estate speculation and a lot of debt speculation, and we're seeing the same thing now. We're seeing the Fed behind the curve, but we're seeing inflation right now out of control, and much different than what that was 10 or 12 years ago, and that's not going to go away. We're seeing a stock market where we have risky assets that I think there's even more speculation today, and a lot of people at home trading on apps and doing all this different sorts of things in the stock market that we didn't even see back then. So I think that bubble is even bigger. We're seeing a cryptocurrency craze where I don't even know if people understand what they're doing. They're just afraid of missing out on something, and a lot of gambling going on, Dave. We're almost supporting a new generation of gamblers between everything that's out there over the last 5 years, especially. So, is a crash on the way? Yes, and the problem is who's going to guide the safe landing? Where is our leadership? Anywhere out there that is going to be able to say, hey, listen, I got this. This is what we're going to do. I have prior business experience, and you're in good hands. And quite frankly, I do not feel comfortable to say I don't see that anywhere. So is the crash coming? Definitely. And are any of our leaders going to be able to do anything about it? Absolutely not.
So then, Ken, how would gold protect us if our economy collapses, as I said, as many think it will?
Well, there's many important things that are going on out there right now, right, Dave? And, money is one aspect of what we're talking about, not to be, irresponsible, or not to have a lot of feeling for a lot of the other stuff that's happening. That's very important. Okay. But for our money, when the economy collapses, you want to have something that isn't tied to the banking system, something that's not tied to the stock market or the equity markets, something that's not going to be dramatically affected by the debt implosion that you and I have talked about over the last, few months, and the everything crash that's on its way. Let's just put it that way. Gold will survive that financial chaos. Gold is an asset that has stood the test of time and has a long track record of holding your purchasing power. It will be there through financial crisis. So to keep something simple, something that's liquid, something that anybody can do, not everybody can buy real estate, not everybody can buy a big stock portfolio. The wealthy can, but the average working person, just take a portion of your paper assets and diversify into physical gold and silver, which we'll talk about, that will allow you to sidestep the next financial crisis. And the next financial crisis is getting closer and closer every day.
A reminder here, you're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is everything you wanted to ask your gold dealer. Part 2. Ken, is it safe to buy gold? I mean, how can I be sure that I'm getting a good deal and not being overcharged?
Well, that's an important question. And, it depends on who you do business with. That's why we would urge people to give Midas Gold Group a shot. I mean, anybody who you do transactions with or do business with, you got to make sure that they're reputable and you're going to get a fair deal and you're not going to be, overcharged. We are always told by our clients we're very fair and very thorough and very reliable. So for people who are looking to do business with a thorough, fair, reliable gold dealer, those are the people who give Midas Gold Group a shot. So our clients, that's where the proof is. So a good deal and not being overcharged is what we do on a daily basis. I mean, how else can you build a strong, healthy company where you meet people face to face? You have to be fair. So I would say that is something that the clients of Midas Gold Group definitely get, Dave.
I think your track record speaks for itself. You all have been around for a long time, and you would not be here today over that amount of time unless you were dealing fairly with your customers. What about silver? It's also a precious metal. We mention it in our introduction each week. Is silver a good buy for preserving wealth?
We believe it is. Silver has always been part of, the money system going all the way back to the Roman Empire when you and I talked months ago about how the denarius was, devalued over as that empire fell, as they took a lot of the silver out of the coins. Now, out of our coins today, our quarters and our dimes, there's no silver in those
Not
all.
anymore.
They've taken, no, and that's since 1965. So that's a thing of the past. Like everything else, our money has gotten weaker. But when you look at the Silver Eagle and some different products, some silver bars, silver maple leafs, it's a very heavy metal compared to gold, but we think that there's a lot of opportunity there, Dave. We think that silver could be over $100 an ounce in the next few years, and we think that silver will go on a big run with gold in price, but that's not why you buy it. But silver is wealth preservation. It's a little bit more aggressive price-wise, and it moves faster than gold on the way up, and it also moves faster than gold on the way down. But it's definitely an asset for wealth preservation. And we would encourage people, to take their precious metal allocation. The majority of it would be in gold, but we do believe that there should be a spot for those who are aggressive and understand the volatility of silver. That there is an opportunity there, and we would encourage them to have a portion of their precious metal assets in physical silver as well as gold.
And I have some silver in my collection as well. The nice thing about silver also is, of course, its lower price, so it is much easier to get in on silver with just a small amount of money and still be able to accumulate a nice supply of it, right?
Yeah, and for the larger investors, just understand that it's heavy and it takes up some space. And if you're a person that moves around a lot, make sure you understand that that's going to be an effort and a burden to kind of move that around because it's real heavy. There's no other way to put it. But on a percentage basis and on a cost basis, there are many opportunities there in the silver market for people who understand that. And like I said, we do believe in silver. We do believe that every single precious metal portfolio should have an allocation of silver to it because of the different reasons. And to answer your question, we do believe it's a great opportunity, Dave, and we do believe that silver preserves wealth, physical silver, as well as gold.
A reminder here, you're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is Everything You Wanted to Ask Your Gold Dealer, Part 2, and I have more questions coming up. But first, in a few moments, we're going to take a look at a specific gold product that can add to your secure wealth, and that's coming up right after this.
Dr. Sebastian Gorka here. Part of the so-called Great Reset from the multinational elite is to enact a digital wallet currency. Think of the implications. Time to create your own gold standard with a call to the dealer I do business with, veteran-owned Midas Gold Group, the America-first precious metals experts who can help you with IRAs and more. Get your portfolio reset with gold and silver. Call Midas Gold Group for their guide to owning bullion and coins today. 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-4653 or MidasGoldGroup.com.
And we're back with more of The Gold Standard, brought to you by Midas Gold Group with Ken Russo. I'm Dave Dino. If you live in the Los Angeles or Phoenix area, we encourage you to visit our local office to meet with us in person. For the address and directions, just log on to our website, MidasGoldGroup.com. That's an easy one to remember, isn't it? MidasGoldGroup.com. For those of you listening in other cities, call us directly at 855-322-GOLD. 855-322-GOLD. If you want to write that down by the numbers, 855-322-4653. Ken, over the past few weeks, we have looked at several beautiful gold and silver collectible coins that are worth a lot of money. But looking through your website today, I came across a most unusual piece with a very unusual name. It's called the Gold Valcambi Combo Bar. It's not a coin, but rather it's a sheet of gold about the size of a credit card, and I've never seen anything like it. What's the story here?
Well, Dave, until you actually see it, it's an extremely unique product. As you know, you and I in the last many shows have talked about different types of coins and different types of bars for wealth preservation. This is another product for wealth preservation, but it kind of seems like it's a little bit more of a useful product. I believe the Gold Valcambi Combi Bar should be part of every disaster preparation kit. And I'll explain why. It's similar to the size of a credit card, like you said. It's the perfect resource for investors who are seeking a convenient way to obtain gold, Dave, in a divisible increment at a very good price. And when I mean divisible increment, this almost looks like a chocolate gold candy bar. It's 50 1-gram bars. It's a grid. It's fashioned in such a way that each square, Dave, can be broken off into exact 1 gram of gold without getting any loss of the gold material itself. If you have a coin or a bar and you wanted to sell a little of it in the future, it's not like you can shave a little piece of it off, right?
Right.
So this particular product addresses that need. It's very unique. It comes in a nice container. Valcambi is a top mint in Switzerland. This is a 24 karat gold product. The quality is very high. Each square, literally, Dave, is hallmark stamped individually. It's 4.9 purity. It's very sleek. It's very modern. This is strong enough. These miniature gold bars are strong enough to keep each gold bar intact. But the best part of this is it could be sold, exchanged, gifted. It could be used for any transaction. We think, Dave, that this Gold Valcambi Combi Bar, it provides investors with extreme flexibility during a financial crisis. And inevitably, I'm sorry, folks, we are headed towards a financial crisis. Gold is money through financial chaos, which is in our future. and it's necessary at this particular time.
A reminder here, you're listening to The Gold Standard with Ken Russo from Midas Gold Group, and today our topic is Everything You Wanted to Ask Your Gold Dealer, Part 2. And I have more questions coming up.
Sebastian Gorka here. The Biden-Harris administration is governing through an unprecedented number of executive orders. We have a good idea of what their agenda means for the country and for your finances. More debt, more regulations, slower growth, and higher taxes. There's even talk of a digital wallet currency and a so-called Great Reset. With massive new spending programs, the Fed is printing money even faster than before. This will likely cause the dollar to fall and gold prices to rise. That's why it's never been more important to own physical gold and silver, and the dealer I trust to do business with is veteran-owned Midas Gold Group. The experts at Midas Gold can even help you convert a portion of your IRA into physical gold and silver to stabilize your portfolio against the coming storm. Call Midas Gold Group for their guide to owning bullion and coins today. 855-322-GOLD. That's 855-322-4653 or MidasGoldGroup.com.
And we're back with more of The Gold Standard, brought to you by Midas Gold Group with Ken Russo. I'm Dave Dino. Our topic today is Everything You Wanted to Ask Your Gold Dealer, Part 2. By the way, if you live in the Los Angeles or Phoenix area, we encourage you to visit our local office to meet with us in person. For the address and directions, just log on to our website, MidasGoldGroup.com. That's Midas, M-I-D-A-S, MidasGoldGroup.com. And for those of you listening in other cities, you can call us directly at 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-GOLD. By the numbers, that's 855-322-4653. Ken, before I get back to my other questions, I want to go back to a person visiting you in person. Not only being able to have that face-to-face meeting, but being able to, as I said, see some of the product that we talk about. It really is quite amazing to actually be able to sit down with you and to make some choices by looking at the actual coins and gold bars and then kind of deciding. I mean, it can really help a person's decision, can't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, Dave, we believe the only way to own gold is by tangible asset. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. We don't believe in paper gold or stock gold or mining share gold or mutual fund gold or any of that stuff. But when you hold a gold coin or a gold bar, it feels like it has a lot of weight to it. And it feels like this is what money should feel like, strong and something that you can trust and something that will be there for when you need it. So I do believe that the thrill of having a gold and silver coin is a tremendous privilege. And, whether you're a affluent person, rich, or just a regular working person that's tried to do the right thing through savings, those types of people, believe it or not, own gold, even though they don't talk about it much because it's not as sexy as a tech stock or as a fancy piece of real estate or as a new cryptocurrency where, someone famous is doing a commercial. But I'm just saying, it feels like it has a long track record of succeeding versus, money that just kind of feels like nothing. Put a stack of $10,000 of $100 bills in one hand and put 10 gold coins or 5 gold coins in your other hand, and you tell me which one you want for strength. So that's the easiest way to talk about it. But not everybody has that privilege to come up and see us. So don't let that scare you or don't let that prohibit you from diversifying. We can still do business over the phone. We can still send you pictures. We can do a Zoom call, whatever. There's still ways for you to diversify. But yes, when you feel that gold, Dave, and when you feel that silver, it's just a privilege to have the opportunity to diversify with physical gold and physical silver.
And as you said, if you are not necessarily in the Los Angeles or Phoenix area, you can, of course, always go to the website, MidasGoldGroup.com, and there you really lay everything out for us very, very effectively, and you show us all the pictures and give us great descriptions of all the different gold products that you make available to us. So far, we have asked and answered a good number of questions, but I still have a lot to put before you. So we're going to kind of blitz through these in the next few minutes. You believe that it is best to buy and possess, and you mentioned this a moment ago, physical gold instead of paper gold. So what's the difference and why?
Well, paper gold obviously is some sort of asset or instrument that's tied to the stock market or banking system. It could be a mining share, a company stock. It could be a mutual fund of different resource companies. It could be a futures contract. It could be an ETF, an exchange traded fund. All of those, may offer opportunities if the price of gold goes up a lot in the future, which we think it will. But we believe the best way to own gold for wealth preservation, not speculation, not a trade, not an overnight hold, not a week hold, for a long-term plan of wealth preservation, Dave. We believe the only way to hold physical gold and silver is in tangible form in coins and bars. And we believe that is the best way to diversify your assets and get some out of the banking system, out of the stock market, out of the markets that are controlled by electricity, or something that can't be crashed by the electrical grid, or a pulse like we've heard about many times before that could crash things and shut things down. So something that's outside of the system. So physical gold differs much from paper gold because it's not part of the banking system, and that's, in our opinion, very important. If you have paper assets, we believe you should be taking at least 25% of your paper assets and moving it into physical gold for that defense and for that diversification and for that hedge against all of this risk that's going on. So everyone's a little different, Dave. Everybody has a different size pie, so to speak, but everybody can take a portion of it, a portion of your IRA, a portion of your old 401k, a portion of your savings, a portion of your CDs or your annuities or your money markets, and move it into something that is a little bit more stable, much more of an asset that will hold your purchasing power. So like I said, everybody out there who is an investor, who has all of their assets right now in risky assets, just needs to ask themselves, what am I doing? Is this the smartest thing that I can do at this point? Or, because of the risk that exists and because of the debt and because of this financial system that no one really understands. I mean, and it's so massive right now, and the debt is just growing exponentially every day and every year. How could I diversify and preserve a portion of my assets? So to answer your question, Dave, yes, anyone out there who's an investor can diversify, and physical gold should be a part of that plan.
And that is why I own gold from you, from Midas Gold Group. Ken, thank you so much. Appreciate all your help. That's going to bring us to the end of our time together today here on The Gold Standard with Ken Russo, brought to you by Midas Gold Group. And a reminder, opinions given here are not intended to be specific to your investment strategy, but rather general information to give you a better understanding of investing in precious metals. For answers to your questions, call Midas Gold Group at 855-322-GOLD. 855-322-GOLD. By the numbers 855-322-4653. And the website is MidasGoldGroup.com. MIDAS, MidasGoldGroup.com. The Midas Gold Group is proud to be America's #1 veteran-owned gold dealer, supporting veterans' causes with a portion of profits donated to the Wounded Warriors Project and the Semper Fi Fund. So your investment in your future is also an investment in the future of those who have bravely served the cause of freedom. Again, our number to call to speak directly to Midas Gold Group, 855-322-GOLD, 855-322-GOLD. Ken, thank you again for your time together today. This has been very instructive. Thank you.
Yes, Dave. Thanks for your time. Have a beautiful day.
Yes, and you too. I'm Dave Dino. Come and join us again next week at this same time for another edition of The Gold Standard.
The Gold Standard was brought to you by the Midas Gold Group.